This is Ling Chi, brush painting for beginners. Then this episode and also several after this one, it's going to be with a holiday theme. But then while we were celebrating the biggest holiday season coming up, we also wanted to use the time to practice our basic skills. During our OAS live posting landscape, I find there is a lot of need for information about how to do a good tree. So today's subject is going to be a cypress tree with red cardinal. And then I'm doing it on a small size. First, that you can do it like a card. And then also seems painting small is less intimidating for the beginners. And I will try to explain on the way of all the materials I'm using and then why I choose to use that. First, talk about the paper. I'm choosing this semi-sized color paper in gold. And if you have gotten the assorted package of this new paper, and I would go ahead and get them because we're going to discontinue real soon. You can get a sample of everything. This paper is very moisture forgiving. So in other words, you don't have to worry about running. And then the other thing is pretty sturdy. So you can see that after it's done, you don't hardly need to wet mount it. That's one of the reasons people have intimidated for beginner to wet mount things. So that's the paper. The brush I'm going to use Lotus Petal and Petal. The Lotus Petal is going to go through the most tree, and then the Petal is focused on the bird. And you can also use Happy Dot. You can see the Happy Dot is a little bit longer, softer than the Happy Tail. The Happy Tail will give you a better control since it's such a small bird. But you can use large orchid bamboo to replace the Lotus Petal. The reason I choose Lotus Petal is that it's not as soft as the large flow, but that still has good body like orchid bamboo, and so it's able to have more flexibility for me. So these are the brushes, and then the color is going to be pretty new for you. We're going to use the jarred stone green to accent it with this pearlescent color, and there are two sizes. A lot of people bought it during the holiday but never get to use it. So I'm going to show you how to use it today. And then while you're purchasing your supply to save money, and I will get the Sakura Silver, Sakura Gold, and Sakura White. These are all going to be used in the near future if you want to start collecting colors for the holiday project. And then I'm going to use our best bottle ink. And then I have a flower plate and I have the separate dish for the ink. I usually don't like to use the ink in the flower plate because it's easy to contaminate the other color. And my water bowl and my mixing plate. I think that Evan, did we cover everything? I think.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to pull. Oh, I forgot. I need the red for the Cardinal, so you can. I'm using the companion set. This is one of the most budget set we have for the red color. But if you have other watercolor, you can use your watercolor red or any other red you have. It's so tiny, so you don't need to go out of your way to get a red for this. And then I'm wetting my Pearlescent color set with a spray bottle water, as well as my companion set. And then I pour my best bottle ink in the dish. And I'm going to start with the tree trunk. So I wet my brush and stroke it dry. Tap it on the paper towel, dry the brush, and then tip with ink and mix it in the mixing plate. So I'm starting with about a little bit toward the right of the paper. By the way, this is 8.5 by 11 paper. You can use it even smaller for the card size. This is just convenient for filming. So then this is how I like to do my tree trunk. Instead of 90-degree to the paper, you can see that I can have a good texture. Use the cider brush. That's the great about this Lotus Petal brush. It's still sturdy enough, but also give me good volume. So this is one side. And then I reload my brush with the ink and I blend. So then I have a little bit taller on this side. And this side, the ending is going to be a lot shallower than the other side. So never make everything the same way. So then I will end a little bit shallow. And then okay, now I'm going to do my branches. And again, the branches is not going to be parallel with each other. One higher, one lower. So this one is going to be a little bit higher. And this one is going to be come down. Reload my brush with ink. It's going to come down a little lower. A lot of time people, without even thinking, have a tendency like to do it symmetric. So that's one thing you remind yourself when you paint, you try not to be so symmetric. So this is the other side. And then on this side, I'm even going to be lower. So no symmetric, no matchy-matchy. And as I'm going down, I'm kind of make it a little bit long, wider. So you can see it. I'm not letting have like a horizontal line. I'm tilting downwards, and then not then so sometimes without even thinking about, people like to have left and right matching each other, so don't do that. Okay, so now I'm rinsing my brush off. And then in my flower plate, I'm going to dish out 2 colors. Use a mixing brush. One color is my stone green. The reason I use this is that other than my traditional green from the yellow and indigo, because on this color paper, especially during the holiday, and then will show off better. But then I don't use it strictly from the jar. So then I add a little bit green, a little bit ochre from my companion set. So kind of soften this stone green. So that's one of the things that you want to make sure that you do, is that don't use it straight out of the jar. So it's ochre. And there's a question always asked that, you know, you can see that my palette will get all mixed up with all these other color. How do I keep it clean? Afterwards, I just use a gentle water under the faucet, just rinse it through, and then it will take all the top other color off.
And it's worthwhile to note that the most common use of this mineral green is for rock accents in landscape painting, and that's why it's such a bright color. But to use it for leaves, you are softening it. You are mixing it with green and ochre so that it's less harsh.
On this pearlescent color, I'm getting some metallic green out of this palette, and you can see from time to time I might just go directly into the palette to pick it up because I seem to are having a hard time to get enough out of it. So there are 2 metallic green, you can use both, but this is the essence of it. For the essence, you might see that I go right into the palette to pick it up. So that I clean my Lotus Petal brush. You can see when I paint, I don't use 10 billion brushes. So I'm just using mostly 1, 2, 3 brushes. So hopefully it doesn't get too confusing. So then I pick up the green, stone green that I softened, and then I tip into this metallic, and then I blend. So I'm going to start doing some tree dots. So side of the brush, it makes your shape is still rounded. You can see that I have make a horizontal line, so I want to break that line. So the top a little higher. So avoid any horizontal line if you could. More rounded shape. So this is what they call happy dot. Side of brush. So this is the time to pull. We sell a lot of this pearlescent color during the holidays, but very rarely I ever seen people use. Now get it out so you can enjoy it. So I'm using more metallic to accent it. So I'm going to put my little red cardinal here. It's very tiny. So I'm using, later on, coming up, I will do a big cardinal so you can see how the bird actually do. But in this, I just want you to not slave over it. Just a little tiny accent bird. So I'm rinsing my ink off, and then I'm dipping into the red blend and a little carmine blend. So I will have a little rich red. So the famous crown is coming up. Then I rinse my red off. Just put a little ink in here and to have it standing on the tree. So you can see the bird is just a little suggestion there, a little red added to the total composition. But like I said, I'll do a full-size cardinal next time when I have a chance, so you can see how this bird really looks like. And I think this is it. Happy holiday. Please wait following us more on the holiday subjects.